consumption. Residents groan as bridge linking Ondo with Ekiti State collapses in Akoko. Former CBN boss queries Nigeria's daily fuel consumption, demands total unbundling of NNPC. From the foreign scene, rescuers search for survivors as a blast kills 28 people in Turkey. A very good evening and thanks for joining us on the news at 7. I am Jane. I know. Now let's begin with drug regulation in Ondo State. The governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, says his administration will continue to collaborate with the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria for safe drug regulation and distribution in the state. Governor Akeredolu made the remark while playing host to the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, led by its registrar Ibrahim Ahmed at his office in Akure. Government House correspondent Similayin Falade now reports.
The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria paid the state government a courtesy visit organized to partner with state governments in its regulatory processes across the country. Registrar Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, Ibrahim Babashew Ahmed, commended the developmental initiatives of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu in the area of security and improvement of health delivery in the state. Ahmed noted that to further partner with governments, the Governor Council has decided that 50% of all license fees paid by patent shops be paid to state government.
Permit me to use this opportunity to commend His Excellency for the developmental initiatives of your administration aimed at improving the quality of life of the good people of Ondo State. First and foremost, your initiative at improving the security within the state will go a long way in creating a conducive environment for businesses which will further attract investors to the state. Also, I wish to thank His Excellency for the appointment of pharmacist Mrs. Folukemi Anna Genola as the in the Ministry of Health.
In his response, Governor Akeredolu, represented by his deputy Lucky Ayedatiwa, lauded the strides of the council, stressing that medicines are vital in healthcare delivery system. The governor said the Ondo State government will continue to cooperate with the council for smooth healthcare services to the people of the state.
We thank you for all that you are doing to keep us safe and healthy. Yes, we are ready to partner with you because who else are we going to partner with? We are partnering with those who ensure that we have a total well-being. because the health condition of every individual actually need a very healthy condition and our total well-being. And your function, pharmacists, cannot be overemphasized in achieving this. So we want to thank you. We'll partner with you as a state, and indeed we have been doing that with all our interventions in the health sector, which you mentioned. And one of the reasons we also have a pharmacist as
He emphasized on proper monitoring of dispensed drugs and drugs management among the youth. Timileyin Falade, Osrc News.
Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says regular examination of breast leading to early detection of any absurdity is key to overcoming the challenges of breast cancer. Governor Akeredolu, who urged Nigerians to take their health seriously, commended the Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria, BRECAN, for its awareness aimed at fighting the deadly disease in the past 25 years. The governor promised his sustained support for the association. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The Jog for Life awareness was flagged off by a medical doctor and national woman leader of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Dr. Betta Adu, who lost her mother to breast cancer.
Any day there is a walk, there is a move to stop another woman from dying of breast cancer. We don't lose another woman to breast cancer. This is the breast cancer month. I am a medical doctor, a public health specialist, and I can authoritatively tell you that if you dictate it on time, you will not die from it. It's curable. It is very, very curable.
Thereafter, it was time for the business of the day, as concerned individuals, including young boys and girls, covered the over 5 kilometers distance, creating awareness against breast cancer. The founder of BRECAN and wife of the Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, who restated her passion to stop the deaths of girls and women occasioned by the disease, urged early detection to stop avoidable deaths.
We keep reaching out, keep mobilizing people, catching them young. When people wonder why spreading this message to children in secondary school, they don't have rest yet. I say yes, they will have rest. And then they have mothers. And through them, it was through students in this Ibadan that were able to reach their parents.
Mrs. Akeredolu thanked people who have supported her foundation in the past 25 years and promised to keep the flag flying. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who did not show any sign of tiredness during the jogging exercise that covered over 5 kilometers, thanked her wife for her passion to stop avoidable deaths caused by the disease among girls and women.
I remember when my girlfriend Betty had breast cancer. There are people who are coming along with us. We never knew they also had. Everybody too quiet. Nobody wants to talk about it. Maybe German Lagos spoke about their own. Everybody too quiet. And that was why I said I had to follow. I told her, each person asks, why is your home going to be different? You must go out and announce it. Betty will fight it. It's not going to stop.
The governor appeals to women and ladies to follow the medical procedure aimed at stopping the disease, especially early detection. The event also featured signing of the Wall of Hope and raffle draws. From Ibadan in Oyo State, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
And away from that, a major bridge linking Ondo and Ekiti State at the border town of Irun Akoko in Akoko Northwest local government area of Ondo State has collapsed. The development has thrown commuters plying the road into difficulties in accessing their destinations. Irakoko, an agrarian community, connects Ekiti through Ebi, Imesi, and Isimbodi, all in Ekiti State. The collapsed road has been a busy axis for over 4 years as commuters from Lagos, Oyo, Osun, and Ekiti States ply it en route Abuja and back from Abuja. Some residents claim that the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency FEMA recently carried out repairs on the road but ignored entreaties on the urgent need to attend to the bridge. As at the time of this report, the road has become impassable as a truck loaded with metal scraps fell at the collapsed bridge on the road. Residents who lamented the negative impact of the development appealed to urgent government interventions. Some of the commuters explained that they have to make the detour and embark on a longer route before connecting commercial centers like Ikare, Akoko, Owo, Benin, Okene, Lokoja, and Abuja. Ekiti State has witnessed its first plane landing as Governor Kayode Fayemi commissioned an airport. The NAF 930 aircraft convening the Minister for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, and his team landed on the runway at 20 minutes past 10 a.m. Speaking after the landing, Sirika described the airport as a bridge that will connect Ekiti State to the world and also engender national growth. The airport's commissioning is expected to be one of Fayemi's last acts as governor as he steps down for Governor-elect Biodun Oyebanji. Fayemi said the project is standard and was born out of resilience, expressing confidence it will positively affect the state in many ways. The airport is expected to accommodate cargo and passenger services. Former Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, has queried the volume of Nigeria's daily consumption of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. Sanusi described as unbelievable the claim by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, that Nigeria consumes 66 million liters of fuel daily. The former governor of the Apex Bank queried the inflated figure when he delivered a keynote speech at the 7th edition of CADInvest, an annual event organized by the Kaduna State Investment Promotion Agency. Sanusi lamented the bogus amounts spent on subsidy payments annually and demanded that the NNPC be unbundled and disbanded, noting that the company should not continue as a cash cow for a few Nigerians. You're watching the news at 7. We'll take a quick break. When we return with 7 more stories. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break. You can watch us live on our website www.oslc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSLC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSLC TV Ondo. And now to the rest of the bulletin. After 7 years without substantial leader in Ondo State, Cherubim and Seraphim Unification has elected new executives to steer the affairs of the body for the next 3 years. The new executive, led by Ademisokun Totten, was sworn in at Success Gate CNS Church, Akure, Ondo State capital, as witnessed by national leaders of the church. Omoriola Obeji has more.
This is the mood of congregants of Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria, Ondo State Chapter, after electing a new leadership for the smooth running of the church for another dispensation.
This is a new dawn for CNS in Ondo State. Ondo State CNS has been moribund for over 7 years now. So what I expect from the new executive is hard work.
For the past 7 years, the church has been struggling to elect new leadership in Ondo State. Chairman, Reconciliation and Inauguration Committee, Apostle Motayo Shibolaton thanked God for the successful election and charged the new executive to put in more efforts at uniting the body of Christ.
I will urge them not to relax on question of reconciliation. They should continue until all segments of Kerubu and Seraphim churches in Ondo State are together.
In his message, Chairman, National Executive Council of the Church, Omoniyi Owomoyela, highlighted principles of achieving success in ministry.
It is going to usher in a period of reorganization, reconstitution, and from the caliber of the executive that has been put in place, I can see that Ondo State stands a very good chance of playing the leadership role. Orimolade is from Ondo State. So now Ondo State is being placed in a position to continue to play that leadership role.
Accepting the mandate, the new chairman, Primate Ademisokun Totten, promised to work with his team to foster unity of the CNS in Ondo State.
Our first assignment to me should be reconciliation with endurance, enlightenment with humility, and all the weakness administrative strategy. It is the cooperation of all that can make an organization, and it is by collective effort that our tenure will achieve our unprecedented success.
Now, with a new dawn in the Ondo State Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church, State Chairman and his secretary now have their seats at the National Executive Council meeting, where decisions concerning the church in Nigeria are made. Omoriola Hungiji, Osrc News.
Still in the mood of celebration, family members and friends have extolled the virtue of Mrs. Olufunke Onyeson, wife of veteran broadcaster Chief Sonia Onyeson, as she celebrated her 70th birthday. Guests who joined her at St. David's Anglican Cathedral, Ijomo, Akure, for a commemorative communion service described Olufunke Onyeson as a great missionary who does not joke with God's work. Odwaya Odeja completes the story.
The communal service preceded other activities for the 70th birthday ceremony as dignitaries, family members and well-wishers converged on St. David's Cathedral, Ijomo, Akure to celebrate the septuagenarian. The preacher at the service, Venerable Adere Miuni, said it takes the grace of God to enjoy long life in good health, urging the celebrant to give thanks to God. He commended the Onyeson family for their steadfastness in winning souls for God and putting the faith of their children on the right path.
I thank God for that. Like I said, the first international they are soul for God. So I pray that you continue.
Dignitaries at the service commended Mrs. Onyeson and her husband for their good deeds as role models to many. Son of the celebrant and grandchildren described Mrs. Onyeson as a selfless individual who sacrifices all she has for humanity.
Everything and anything for you to make you happy. As long as you are happy, she's happy. And if you are not happy, she's not. She's someone that can do a whole lot, not just for her children, but for anybody within her vicinity.
The birthday train later moved to Olokuta Medium Correctional Facility, where the celebrant provided food for inmates and other vulnerable on the streets. The celebrant husband, Chief Sonia Onyeson, described her wife as God's gift, urging the well-to-do in the society to always remember the needy.
To those celebrating, whatever they are, celebrating birthdays, baptism, whatever, weddings and so on. Please remember what the Bible says. Share with the needy
share with those in need.
The celebrant, who appreciated God for sparing a life, charged Christians to be closer to God.
Not all prisoners here are guilty of the offense for which they were accused. So I pitied them, and I thought I should mingle with them, share what God has given me with them.
The guests joined Onyuson family at a reception as they cut the birthday cake and poured encomiums on the celebrants. Oduayo Dija, Osrc News.
Now taking this again, a major bridge linking Ondo and Ekiti State at the border town of Akoko in Akoko Northwest local government area of Ondo State has collapsed. The development has thrown commuters plying the road into difficulties in accessing their destinations. Akoko, an agrarian community, connects Ekiti through Egbe, Imesi, Isimbode, all in Ekiti State. The collapsed road has been a busy axis for over 4 years as commuters from Lagos, Oyo, Osun and Ekiti states ply it en route Abuja and back from Abuja. Some residents claim that the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FAMR, recently carried out repairs on the road but ignored entreaties on the urgent need to attend to the bridge. As at the time of this report, the road has become impassable as a truck loaded with metal scraps fell at the collapsed bridge on the road. Residents who lamented the negative impact on the development appealed for urgent government intervention. Some of the commuters explained that they have to make a detour and embark on longer routes before connecting commercial centers like Ikare, Akoko, Owo, Benin, Okene, Lokoja and Abuja. Now talking education, the federal government has apologized to students and parents for the prolonged strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. In a statement, Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, assured students that they won't have to experience the ugly situation in the future. ASU embarked on strike on February 14, 2022 over poor welfare of its members, amongst others. The union, however, decided to suspend the strike during a meeting of its leadership that started on Thursday night and lasted into the early hours of Friday after a court of appeal ruling last week. In his statement, Ngigi, who said the industrial action was unwarranted in the first place, commended those who worked alongside the government to resolve the impasse. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged young people not to lose hope and focus on the opportunities available in Nigeria. He gave the advice in a lecture to mark the 64th birthday of a renowned activist, lawyer and journalist, Mr. Richard Akinola, held in Ikeja. Governor Sanwo-Olu, while acknowledging that challenges abound in the country with respect to political, ethnic, social and religious issues, said the real test of leadership is the ability to rise up and surmount the myriad challenges facing the nation. The governor also urged the youths to make good use of social media and use it as a weapon to their own liberation. Speaking earlier, the celebrant Richard Akinola said the participation of the youth in the 2023 general elections would be a deciding factor in the outcome of the poll. Now moving ahead to PDP, amid ongoing crisis in the People's Democratic Party PDP, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has left the country for Spain. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, and Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom also reportedly joined Wike on the trip, although there has been no official confirmation of the Spanish meeting yet. The governors have previously held meetings in Europe amid party crisis. Wike and his allies are pushing for the exit of the PDP National Chairman Iyorchia Ayu and have withdrawn from supporting the PDP presidential campaign. They claim Ayu promised to tender his resignation as chairman if a Northerner wins the PDP's presidential ticket for the 2023 election. However, Ayu has indicated he will stay on as chairman at least until after the election. The federal government says 101 convicted terrorists and those awaiting trial have been moved from custodial center to a de-radicalization camp for onward reintegration into the society. Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo disclosed this to State House correspondents after the National Security Council NSC meeting at Osrc Villa in Abuja. Irabo and some ministers, including Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola, Minister of Police Affairs Mohammed Dingyadi, attended the meeting chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. Controversy had surrounded the release of 101 convicted terrorists after the vicious insurgents who kidnapped train travelers in Kaduna on March 28 released the last batch of their abductees on October 5. However, Irabo said the ex-combatants were moved from custodial center to Operation Safe Corridor, which was established by the federal government in 2016 to receive repentant terrorists. Also, Aregbesola said the ex-combatants were moved to de-radicalization and onward reintegration into the society, noting that there was a court order to that effect. And now on the foreign scene, Ethiopia has ordered banks to deny foreign currency to businesses importing non-priority goods in an effort to shore up dwindling foreign reserves in one of Africa's major economies. The move effectively freezes the import of dozens of items such as alcohol and cars, as businesses must register with bank to obtain the foreign currency needed to bring goods into the country. In a letter to Ethiopia's central bank, the Ministry of Finance said it had become necessary to restrict the use of foreign currency to importing food, medicine and medical equipment and raw materials for manufacturing. The list of some 40 products includes vehicles and motorcycles to wall clocks, umbrellas, carpets and soaps, alcohol, perfumes and cigarettes. No recent public figures are available regarding Ethiopia's reserves of foreign currency. Now to Turkey, the rescuers today desperately searched for signs of life after a methane blast at a coal mine in northern Turkey killed at least 28 people and trapped dozens of others hundreds of meters underground. Updating the death toll, Health Minister Fahrettin Koca also tweeted that 11 others pulled out alive were being treated in hospitals after one of Turkey's deadliest industrial accidents in U.S. struck. Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu described the incident as regretful. Soylu also confirmed early reports that nearly 50 miners remain trapped in two separate areas below the ground. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan cancelled all his other engagements and flew to the scene of the accidents. And now to end the news at 7, here are the main points. Ondo State government has reiterated its commitment to improved synergy with professionals for safe drug distribution. They also told you Governor Akeredolu made the remarkable post to the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria led by its registrar Ibrahim